269. What do you think of that, Fred? How's that for a number? What a sad week. What a tragic week for us in music. The loss of both Sly Stone and Brian Wilson. It's incalculable. Such giants. I can't begin to describe the loss. So rather than talk about that, we'll do a little tribute next week to both artists. And this week we have a very special program. In the summer of 2009, I hit the road with Michael Miller, my good friend, and we did a duo tour, played all over the place. Miller opened for me, and then I did an extra long set. We did a lot of talking, a lot of singing. We did some songs together. And as fate would have it, the great Commander Joe Cody and his Rebel Bass Productions captured one of these shows in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So tonight we're going to run the bulk of it and let you in on all the fun that we had that summer. I know a lot of you people watching this were there at these shows and enjoyed them, so we thank Commander Cody, Joe, for providing this wonderful footage. What do you think, Fred? She's not into it. Anyway, we appreciate your continued support, prayers, and tips. Tip till it hurts. 77's album is done, heading to the manufacturer, and we are finalizing the Lost Dogs mixes this week and next. So lots of great new music to come, new shows, hopefully. But now, it's the Ro Miller Hour. All right? 269. Yeah, Fred? Yeah? Yeah?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Miller.
Hold on, this can't be real. Na 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 na. For so long been shivering in fear. Na 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 na. But when it's love, I know, I know, I know, love, I know, I know. When it's love, I know, I know, I know, love, I know, I know. So what? I'm smothered in tears. Na 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 na. Come on, isn't it queer? it's love, I know, I know, I know. Love, I know, I know. And it's love, I know, I know, I know. Love, I know, I know. Hold on, this can't be real. Na 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 na. Thank you. That song was in this movie, a very small, terrible movie, that right before there was a couple songs of mine that were going to be in it, and I had only heard up to that point. I finally got to see it. It was so awful, and there was this one sex scene that was just horrible, and thankfully my song was not in the sex scene. And then later on, there was this killer makeout scene, and that was my song. I was really happy. So I should have warned you ahead of time if you feel like making out. That's why. For this, I want to have... Actually, I know two people here in town. I didn't know this. There's one other friend. I thought I would have this friend come up and play with me, if that's all right with you guys. Cool? See if he can get this song right. So I want to come up. Where is he? Micro, come on out.
Where's that accordion guy? Are you playing Green Acres when I come out?
So Mike and I, we've been friends for a long time, and did I already tell the story? No. And we've recorded together and goofed off together, and it was fitting. We started talking about how we both have new records coming out this summer. Mine's better, but we decided we'd go together. And this is the first time we've ever played or toured together. And this is the last show. Dang it. Probably is the best, yes, for sure. And yes, and the first garage. So see, you've got so much to put in your diaries. You have a lot of work ahead of you when you get home. So this is Carolina Skyline.
So you would have at least one fan. Were you cut to the quick?
sprawled out far and wide. Anyone can see the glorious scenery just beyond the hemline, on the outskirts of the countryside. You can take it easy with a little bit of luck and wine. Anyone Anyone can glide inside the Carolina skyline when the wind is blowing right from the sun-spread gold horizon. False star flaming bonfires keep lighting and lighting. Anyone God forbid you ever spend a night alone. Time will not stand still for even you, so hurry on. Cause you were meant to fill an ocean. Everyone wakes up at some point in their lifetime. Someday you'll be changed, love, and find out what it's like. If you can take it easy, you'll find out what love is like. Anyone
Michael Miller, please, the vocal. think you need to reintroduce me. That was weak.
All right. All right.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but that's not. It's not entirely necessary yet.
All right.
Wait till the end.
All right. From Northern California, right above Southern California, where Michael Miller lives. The man who's played on all of Michael Miller's records.
This is worse than the other one.
Seriously, the man who's a great inspiration to Michael Miller.
I'm not taking you out next time.
Please welcome Michael Rowe.
Thank you for that eloquent hillbilly introduction. I'll deal with you later. I thought Terry Taylor was a troublesome partner. All right, how many of you knuckleheads were at one of those hideous barbecue shows? Anybody? Anybody? Let's see a show of hands. Okay, you may put it down. Anyone else? We're just going to wait. Anybody else? Anybody? All right, okay. That's actually a fair proportion given that, did we even do one in this area? See, that's my brain is like a sieve. All right. It's a Ralph Stanley song. When the curtains of night are pinned back by stars and the beautiful moon sweeps the sky, well, the dew drops from heaven are kissing the rose. It's then that my memory flies. I'll hasten this message of cheer, and I'll bring you a kiss of affection and say, I'll remember you, love, in my prayer. never saw rosy cakes. At night as I kneel by my bedside to pray, I remember you, love, in my prayer. At night as I kneel by my bedside to pray, I remember you, love, her in my prayer. Thank you. Good old Ralph Stanley and Alison Krauss. I don't know how we fell into, well, I know exactly how we fell into doing these old-time numbers. I guess there isn't much to say these days. You know, I've written so many negative songs in my life, and now that times are negative, I thought, well, you know, it might get worse if I keep writing, so I decided to go back to an earlier negative time, partially negative and partially positive, because the 1920s was a boom and then the 30s was a crash, so we're pulling songs from there, and but not always. There's a little 77's history lesson for you guys. And I realized this as I started telling the story about it. We started out in 1979 in the fall, so it will be 30 years in about 2 months. Our first gig was in September of 79, and we had Mark Tootle and Jan Eric, and Mark Proctor, and this girl named Sharon McCall, who ended up marrying Jerry Chamberlain from DA, but that's a whole other story. But when we first started out, we didn't have any artistic pretensions. We were just playing for a local church, and we needed material. They wanted a band to represent their concert ministry, so they scratched a bunch of guys up, and we called it the Scratch Band. And at that time, Steve Scott, this guy from England, a lot of you guys know who he is. He had just come over a year earlier from England. Larry Norman, I guess, heard him over there and said, "You want to come and make a record, you know, on my little label, you know, Solid Rock?" And so, you know, Steve said, "Yeah, sure, man." So he goes to LA and makes this wonderful album with Larry producing and John Lynn and all those great players. And, you know, in classic Larry fashion, the record didn't come out. That was during the time when Larry was imprisoning albums for some reason. So we needed some material, so Steve said, "Well, why don't you do my songs from, you know, Moving Pictures, you know?" And it's a terrible British accent. So we started doing them, and the first song we recorded on our first album was from Moving Pictures. It was called A Different Kind of Light. So fast forward about 28 years, we find ourselves doing these old gospel tunes. Like we did on our first album, we did Denomination Blues by Washington Phillips, which was something Steve used to do in concert also. So doing this old-time gospel thing really is us coming full circle. So when we were doing this record last year called Holy Ghost Building, which you all need to own, if you don't, I have it for sale here, out now, we decided to do another Moving Pictures number that Steve did. And ironically and sadly, during this time when we were completing the recording, Larry Norman passed on. But word got to us that, I don't know if this is apocryphal, but I think it's true. At his funeral, it was announced that Larry gave his blessing for Moving Pictures to finally be released. And to make sure that Steve got his 20%. Larry to the bitter end. That's actually, compared to the rates when he signed with him, that's actually probably double what he had signed for. Now, you would know that, right? Okay. So, anyway, I'm going to do this number, and he played a national guitar on it. National? Yeah, like a sort of a slide. I'm going to play a little bit, trying to get the part, so...
There are two roads in this life. One is narrow, one is wide. And I know which one to take if I'm to reach the other side. I love thee, Lord, and he's coming back one day. Stranger, won't you change your sinful ways? Stranger, you can laugh, stranger, for your scorn, but I bet you won't be laughing on that resurrection morn. I love thee, Lord, and he's coming back one day. Stranger, won't you change your sinful ways? Call me simple, you may say that I'm a fool, but I know where I will be when he's making up his jewels. I love thee, Lord, and he's coming back one day. Stranger, won't you change your sinful ways? Thank you very much. Well, so I wanted to keep going with this old-time music. So I decided to go back to some of the songs that we couldn't do with the band, or they were just too weird, and try some. I found some really, really strange songs. The deeper I went digging, if you get past Robert Johnson and all the real obvious stuff, you start finding things that are just truly bizarre. And one of my favorite ones that I found is by this guy named Henry Thomas. It's called Jonah in the Wilderness. And some of these songs are not what I would call theologically perfect. I mean, we already have a problem with the title, Jonah in the Wilderness. Because most of us do not think of Jonah there. We think of him either on a ship or being hucked overboard or in the belly of a whale or a biggie fish or he's preaching to the wicked Ninevites whom he hated, and that's why he didn't want to go preach. That's why he ended up on the ship, because they were indeed wicked, and he was righteously angry, and understandably so. But this story is about God's infinite mercy, and we all know the story. He ends up preaching to them, and they repent of their sins, and then he gets royally pissed at God because God didn't rain fire from heaven down. So he sits outside the city, I guess in the wilderness, waiting for God to destroy them, hoping God will change his mind, you know. And it gets hot out there, and so God, again, in his infinite mercy, does a little thing for him. He has this vine thing grow up over his head to shade him. It's just a sweet little thing, you know. But God doesn't always break his rules of nature either as he's doing miracles. And so as it gets hotter, the vine withers. And now he's back in the sun again, and he's really pissed. And now he's feeling sorry for himself. He's feeling sorry for the vine. He's feeling sorry for the plant. God shows up, and he says, so, you're feeling sorry for this thing that you had nothing to do with. You didn't plant it, you didn't water it, and yet you're upset with me for feeling sorry for these people and all their cattle and all their kids. And the story ends there. It's one of the most, I think, besides it being curious, it's one of the most telling stories in the Bible about the character of God. But this song kind of gets it right, but I was in trouble with this song because the first verse starts out and it says, the Lord tells Jonah and the men on the ship to go into the belly of the ship and find the 30 blue-eyed Christians. Seek and you'll find yourself the blue-eyed Christians. And they looked and they looked and they couldn't find them. And God gets very irate. And I thought, now what would cause this gentleman to put this in his song? Assuming that that's what it really says. I mean, he's kind of chewing tobacco or something while he's singing. It's kind of hard to tell. But I thought, well, Henry Thomas was black and he sang on street corners and he was probably hassled a lot by blue-eyed Christians. Because in those days, these guys, these songsters would sit outside the churches sometimes and sing, and they were so good, they were way better than the preacher, and so they could actually take your church. So, who knows? Anyway, I thought, well, this is so politically weird, I can't even touch it, so I'm going to go headlong to the second verse, which starts out okay. God's telling Jonah to preach, and he doesn't want to go, but then there's no ship, there's no whale, there's no preaching, there's just him sitting and the vine is growing up. And then later it says God tells Noah to build an ark. So I just figure this is like one of those Young Life songs we used to sing, in high school where, Noah built the arky, and everyone's kind of sitting around the campfire singing these. I'm not quite sure what to make of it, so I'll let you guys ferret it out theologically. I just think it's a real cool tune. Hey, John, hallelujah. Hey, John, preaching in that wilderness, preaching in that wilderness. Well, Lord, tell Jonah said to go and preach. Jonah declared that he would not go. Hid himself in the bottom of the ship, searched that ship from bottom to top. Hey, brother Jonah said, oh boy, here come the bird. Drop the seed that sprung a root, from the root that sprung a vine, from the vine that sprung a shade. Under that shade, brother John laid, walked right up from the valley room. He tied his shoes and Jonah sat down. But when we get to heaven, how we sit and tell how we escaped old death and hell. Well, hey, John. Hey, John, preaching in that wilderness, preaching in that wilderness. Well, the ship rocked from shore to shore, ship rocked from the door to door. God declared that the ship would roll, 'cause Jonah's gotta leave from Nineveh. Well, hey, John, hallelujah. Hey, John, preaching in that wilderness, preaching in that wilderness. Well, God told Noah for to build an ark. God told Noah for to build an ark. Imagine a God if he would not build water for 40 days and 40 nights. Well, hey, John, hallelujah. Hey, John, preaching in that wilderness. Well, hey, John, John, preaching in that wilderness, preaching in that wilderness. think it's pretty cool. I don't know what to think about that, but it's all right. Well, since this is the last night of the tour, I usually go off on my own little trip, but if someone just can whisper, requests along the way, if I know them, I might play them because, you guys waited a long time. We were late, and so... I'm sorry, what was the second one? Oh my gosh, that's such a great song. I don't know it. I listened to that the other night, and it was like listening to someone else do it. I need to learn all those tunes. We learned them for one tour, and then I forgot them. That's another great one I don't know. I'll do the Lust. Yeah, see, those, you're going to be in trouble with all that. Now, we need to keep these within reason. Gosh, I mean, this is obscure. Why don't you guys request the hits? That one's dirty. I can't. All right, okay. I opened up a can of worms. I think I'm going to go off on my own little trip. Let's see, I'll pray about it. No. Okay. Well, here's what I'll do. I'm going to take all those under advisement while I continue my set. Okay, you guys some people are requesting Lost Dog songs, and the very first one I ever gave to that band was something that was originally written for 77s in 1983. This is one of those neurotic things where you have the music haunting you for 6 months. I heard this in my head for 6 months, day and night. And I'm not making this up. So I thought, well, why don't you write the song, you idiot, and it'll go away. So I did. And I submitted it for the All Fall Down album, and it was rejected as too morose. So I thought, perfect for Lost Dogs. So me and Eugene walked in the studio together. He picked up the guitar, and I just said, here's how it goes. Here we go. Paid all my money, and what did I get? Left here to smolder like some cigarette. I smoked every pack of lies made yet. I never read that little warning that said I'd be an eternal soul with an eternal crave. Cashed every premium for this flip-top grave. When I locked my heart and threw away the key, now I'm living with nothing but me. Thank you. Well, some of you may not think it's true, but I was very slow in the uptake on the guitar. I started when I was 9, but I was always behind all the kids at school. So by the time I got to high school, I'd already played maybe 6 years, but there were guys that were playing maybe 1 year that were just like light years ahead and playing all the usual teenage leads, you know. Plus, by that point, you know, I was raised on Chuck Berry and Carl Perkins, and Scotty Moore and, James Burton, which was all very formidable. But in high school, I had to contend with Jimmy Page and Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton, and just all these guys came over from England. They could bend those notes, it took a really strong finger to take a string and bend it and get the note wiggling at the top of the bend. And I was lost, so even the Beatles, I couldn't even play Blackbird by the Beatles, It's just a scale, don't just a series of harmonized scales. It's very clever. Wonderful, but no guitar player would ever do that. Your life, you are only waiting. So I had to learn it from some drummer friend of mine. He said, "You're such an imbecile. It's so simple, So about 10 years ago, I'd forgotten it. I was trying to remember how to play it. And I was sitting there and went off after I figured it out. I kept going, And our drummer Bruce Spencer was recording me, and I didn't know it. And so he went home and he snipped like 2 minutes of this thing of me practicing the song, and he wrote this little tone poem, I guess, over it. And he called it Rosebud, R-O-E. He thought that was his dedication. So I'm going to try to play this thing and see if this is where Blackbird will get you. Since I lost my way again, I've been brushing up on things to say to you. And I saw you, and you saw me with weak eyes, running away, far away from that heavenly night, too far away from one more emotion-filled afternoon upon the porch at your mother's place, waiting on the wind to come round to say what I hoped you would say. One song on electric guitar since I brought it. It's by Mississippi Fred McDowell. I get called this guy who, plays boogie woogie music and stuff. So since I get teased a lot, I occasionally will do this stuff just to fit the moniker, I guess.
looked at me wrong. Oh, you gonna be sorry you ever did me wrong. It's gonna be too late when, honey, I'll be gone. I'm gone by the pawn shop, put my watch in pawn. What you gonna do, baby, when your trouble be like mine? What you gonna do, baby, when your trouble be like mine? Lord, you can't do me, honey, like you done Portia. Lord, you took his money, baby, well, you can't take mine. Well, I wonder, baby, what's gonna happen to me? Oh, I wonder, baby, what's gonna come of me? I wonder, darling, what's gonna come of me? Oh, I'm so worried, have mercy. Oh, come on, baby, take a little walk with me. Oh, come on, baby, take a little walk with me. Oh, come on, baby, Lord, take a little walk with me.
Boogie woogie, people. It's good for you sometimes, it is.
This is starting to feel like a recital. You know, we used to do these garage shows when we were kids. Do you guys remember doing those where you'd put on like a thing where your parents would have all the people in the neighborhood come in and your little sister would do a little sort of mambo to some Hawaiian music, you know, and then some kid would do magic tricks, you know, and inevitably I'd be asked to play the guitar, and it was always under threat from my dad because he used to get really upset that I couldn't play any songs all the way through because, you know, when you're in high school, you're not playing solos, you're learning leads and stuff, you know. And he'd say, "You can't play one song all the way through. I wasted all my money on those lessons." He says, "We're having company over on Sunday and you're going to learn 6 solos all the way through," you know. It was just, so when I'm sitting here, you know, in the garage with the lights all bright, excuse me while I relive my entire childhood right now. So I had to learn those solos, and I had to do them all by myself, you know, and I remember I was in my bedroom all miserable and cowering in there. "Michael, now Michael's going to play solos for you now, aren't you, Michael? Michael, Michael, come on out, Michael, Michael, Michael." You know, it's a haunting, painful memory. And I was in high school when this happened, you know. So, like, I had to, let's see, around the time this was, I was doing things like let's see. Etc. So there you go. Yeah, you know. So I learned those solos, by golly. So this is why, yeah, start bringing all those songs up. This is why all my songs are miserable and tortured, okay? It left a mental scar. So I'm going to go into some of these miserable and tortured tunes for you so that you can see what all those songs I just played did to me. You know? This is my own Jonah and the Whale story. I waited my whole life to do a song called "A Boat Ashore," you know, because, you know, people were signing my yearbooks all through school, you know, how's the boat, you know, let that ship come in and all this stuff. And I wanted for the album, you know, I had my name and then the title on the spine so that when you read it, you read my name and then you read "The Boat Ashore." I thought it was a good idea at the time. And I wanted to record that, you know, the old version of Michael Rowe, "The Boat Ashore," you know, with the guy singing through his nose, you know, "Sister, help to trim the sail," you know, all the kids singing. Does anyone, you remember that record? We all remember that when we were younger. And I didn't have time. I ran out of money and time, and we were going to bring the kids in and do the whole thing. So then I remembered, you know, a lot of people like to call my answering machine in the middle of the night and leave phone messages. And some of these have found their way onto our records, you know. So one of this, I remembered a year earlier, the babysitter I used for my daughter had obviously gotten into a party situation and had considerable spirits within her. And people like to, at that state of mind particularly, call my answering machine, and I think this means something to me, you know. So anyway, I remember that she sang Michael Rowe, "The Boat Ashore" to me, so I thought, why don't I use that version instead? And it sounds horrible, and it's all out of tune, and it's all like and a phone. And then when that song's over, then when mine comes on, it sounds like the Beatles, you know, it's like three-dimensional. And then I realized that she might find out about it. This girl she was an aspiring singer. She had all these big Hollywood contacts, you know, and she says, I'm going to Hollywood with my demo tape. This is before American Idol, you know. I'm going down there with my tape, and I'm going to use all my contacts and be a big star. And you know, she couldn't sing, you know, her way out of a wet paper bag. But I encouraged her anyway, you know. I always encourage people. So then I thought, well, if she hears on the street that I used her recording, it's going to be bad. So I always like to ask for forgiveness rather than permission most of the time. But in this case, I turned myself in. So I called her over to babysit, and I said, I want to play my new... Let's see, I'll do my Larry Norman. Say, I want to play my new album for you. And so I sat her down, and I put the CD in, and you hear that, you know, and you hear all of a sudden her eyes got big as plates, and her face turned beet red, and she started slugging me. And it hit me. I'm going, what are you doing? Oh, come on. You know, what are you doing? You know, she says, we were stoned. She says, everyone's going to know we were stoned. How could you do this to me? You know, this is my career and everything. And I said, well, you know, I thought I'd kickstart it a little bit, you know. Needless to say, that was the beginning and ending of her singing career. And she married some missionary and had like 6 kids and lives in Belize. So it's all good. All right.
Woke up in the morning and it felt like the black of night. Stumbled out of bed, tripped on the Bible, stumbled over the light. Blinded by the break of day, I shut my eyes, I was alone. Couldn't say my prayers, good God Almighty, where's my telephone? When I know there's nothing good in me. Say it's so, say it's so, say it till I will hear it. When you say don't fear it, let go. No, 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 no. Tell me ever, let me go. Crash me, wash me on your shore. Drifted way too far from my moorings and more. Overboard the oars when relentless was the roll of the restless sea. Set me free from its treacherous shore. Don't let me go. I'll be there, don't be afraid, for forever. Now that I've run this boat ashore, please don't let me go. Now I know you like never before. You waited for me now. I know.
Thank you so much. Good old Sticks and Stones.
Come on, let me in. I swear I'll be your only friend, and I will get down on my knees for you, and if I could, you know I would do anything at all to get you near today. Hear me say you're more than money, more than glory, more than I could ever hope to say. You're more than beauty, you're more than mystery, more than now, more than yesterday. Yeah. Take me to your heart, 'cause there's where we make it start, and I will get down on my knees for you and pay the price, sacrifice to anything at all to melt your soul on us. Realize you're more than you're more than glory, more than I could ever hope to say. You're more than beauty, more than mystery, more than now, more than yesterday. Girl, you're more than a lover, more than a friend, more than a talent, more than a trend, more than I could ever hope to say. Well, you're more than a mystery, more than a dance, more than history, more than romance, more than now, more than yesterday. Well, you're more than your politics, more than your plans, more than a sure thing, more than a chance, more than I could ever hope to say. Yeah, well, you're more than your
Okay, well, it's been 9 years since we lost Eugene, and we find a way to think about him almost every day. Gene was a real character, and he was a lot of things, but one thing he had was a great big heart, and he loved huge and large the same way he lived. So shortly before he died, he wrote a song about a friend of his who was dying of AIDS. And somehow this fellow found Jesus before he died, and that made Gene very happy. So he wrote this little song. It's called Jimmy.
Long time no see. I know it's been a while. I'm glad you're doing okay. You know me anyway. I've been somewhere, I've been everywhere, I've been nowhere, and you've been on the road. You with your heavy load. Crazy 8s go fish, I made a pond. Remember that? You asked if I was happy. I wondered, were you sad? Long time no see. I know it's been a while. You sound like you're doing well. Jimmy, I can tell. Nurses' aides and magazines, it's late, it's time to go. How glad I was to hear that day they sent you home. Now I'm tied up, I'm busy, but I'll be over soon. We'll get some Chinese food. I'd like that, wouldn't you?
Thank you.
Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine.
Once I get up here in this, it's all that. That's the same year.
It sheltered me from home.
All that stuff.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright.
Yeah, okay. You do that all night. Well, somebody requested this song. I'm going to do a medley of my hit. And it is a true medley because You know, like those old songs I was doing, it's part of the great folk tradition where somebody steals something, you know, talent borrows, genius steals. Maybe somebody heard their mother sing it in church and reproduced what it was they thought they remember their mother singing. Maybe their sister skipped rope to it outside and the snowball starts rolling down the hill, you know. Now, unfortunately, in these modern times, we have copyrights and we have laws that protect the songwriter, and so instead of a snowball rolling down the hill, it's the old karmic wheel still in spin. That's hippie talk, folks. And so therefore, you know, I mean, I cribbed a few good ideas for this song, you know, and I like to take a lot of credit for it, but you know, it is part of the folk tradition. And so that karmic wheel started to come and bite me. This group named 311 stole a complete line from the song, so that paid rent for a couple months. The next one was the Ambien Drug Company, who used the theme, you know, I've done that bit, you know. I just couldn't sleep night after night, tossing and it's that Larry voice again. My wife said I should see a doctor. He recommended Ambien. Ambien, you know, it's a great sleeper. Knocks you out for weeks. A full-blown coma and you wake up feeling refreshed. So if you can't sleep, maybe you should see your doctor about Ambien today. Warning: side effects includes nausea, headaches, diarrhea, anal seepage, may cause drowsiness. So that one, I couldn't prove intent. Now, I have never used my music to sell drugs. I'm just going to go on record. But the Ambien company did. Then, so I couldn't prove intent, so I didn't get anything out of that one. Then some country guy, you know, stole the lick. And then now the latest outrage, the greatest outrage of all, that Switchfoot guy. What's his name? Yes, he wrote this song called what? Southbound Train or Downtown Train. I mean, he took the whole thing, but it's such a beautiful song, and he sings it so beautifully, so I decided to let him off. So now I'm going to do my own ripped-off version. This is Terry Taylor's version of the song from our Lost Dogs album, which I now prefer to my version. We just did a show together last night. It was great. I don't know where they are tonight. Is it raining? Good Lord. I should go back into Here Comes the Sun. I mean, hasn't this been one of the just coolest summers, and literally, you know. This song was actually written on a tablet when I was, I don't know, I was 30 or something, and I was all mad at myself, and I hated myself, and I just wrote it all on a tablet, and then when it came to do some songs, I had this music that I'd ripped off from someone else. So I just sang it verbatim off the tablet. That's why it's so disjointed.
Well, I feel like I have to feel something good all of the time. With most of life I cannot deal, but a good feeling I can feel, even though it may not be real. And if a person, place, or thing can deliver, I will quiver with delight. But will it last me for all my life, or just one more lonely night? The lust, the flesh, the eyes, the pride of life, it drains the life right out of me. Well, I see something I wanted, bam, right now, no questions asked. Don't worry how much it costs me now or later. I want it, babe, I want it fast. I go to any length, sacrifice all that I already have and all that I might get, just to get something more that I don't need. And Lord, please don't ask me what for. The lust, the flesh, the eyes, pride of life drains the life right out. Right at me and what I'm doing or have done, and lay it on about how groovy I am, and that I'm looking grand, and every single word makes me think I'll live forever, never knowing that they probably won't remember what they said. Tomorrow I could be dead. The lust and the flesh and the eyes, the pride of life drains the life right out.
Well, it seems that you folks sing, I can feel the thing you want to sing. You've been singing along, and I changed the vocals so much that I've decided I'm going to do one now that you guys can sing with, and I won't change the vocal. You're going to have your own little part, and this song has a story. I've gotten a lot of credit over the years for a lot of brilliant things that I had nothing to do with, and this is one of them. It's part of being blessed with being surrounded, and I mean literally surrounded by genius songwriters and musicians for the last 30 years. And I worked with one for 10 years. His name was Mark Tootle. He was our keyboard and sometimes guitar player through the 80s. And he started in the band as just kind of a okay songwriter, and he ended in the band as a genius songwriter. He wrote some of our more known things like Don't This Way, and Do It for Love, This Is the Way Love Is, and quite a few others. But this particular number was written for a reason that was not like the other reasons. He was our choir director at the time also, and wanted to get close to one of the girls in the choir. But he had to be kind of sly and ethical about it, so he thought, well, I'll form a little choral group. I'll hand-pick some of the gals, you know, and have a special little choral group. But that didn't quite get the effect that he was after. So he thought he'd commit the ultimate act of indulgence. And he said, in his Larry Norman voice, he asked the girl, well, you guys want to sing on our record? I got a part that I wrote especially for you. You could sing it on our album, you know. Now, we have a no chicks rule. We've always had one, you know. We don't have the girls in the van. We don't have them in the hotel room. And we especially don't have them on the record. This was I was outraged. I said, Mark, this will never work. And he says, oh, come on, Mike, you know. So he drags them in there, and they do this hideous thing that I still cringe every time I hear it. But a lot of folks like this record in spite of that. I dubbed them when the record came out, I called them the Nerk Sisters. So tonight you guys get to be the Nerk Sisters. Most of you know this song, some of you don't. So those who know it, please sing loud. The more voices, the better, and the more out-of-tune voices, the better. Just think of the end of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where the flying saucers spitting out all those notes, It's kind of that kind of thing. So it's a hey na na, then hey na na, walking up to the tonic. That's good. Let's try it one more time. Hey na na. Jeez. Hey na. Perfect. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you guys going on this for a little while, so you get it in your head for the shy and the bashful, Then we're going to fade you guys out. I'm going to sing this terribly romantic song, and then at the end I'm going to fade out. You guys are going to come back in gently, and I'm going to sing a round over it. We're going to have a big rock show. Okay, we're going to pretend the most professional show in Stillwater tonight. And for those of you who have your wonderful iPhones with your virtual Zippo lighters, you can flash them around, and everyone else just kind of sway back and forth, we'll just have a real moment here, okay? Here we go. Hey, na, na. Hey, na, na. Hey, na, na. It's lovely. Hey, na, na. Hey, na, na. Hey, Thank you. There's nowhere else I want to be than in your heart. Nowhere else I'd rather be than in your heart, in your arms. Wind blows through the valley, carries away the cloud. The stars seem so much brighter this night. Orion's belt is shining, the Big Dipper's upside down. Over us it's pouring out its light. Slip your arms around me, draw me to your side. Full moon shines down so clear. It's that music in the distance, moment of time. There is nowhere else but here. There's nowhere else I want to be than in your heart. Oh, nowhere else I'd rather be than in your heart, in your arms. You could swim across the ocean, find a desert island, where the palm trees shade me from the sun. Could walk across the desert, build my own oasis, but your arms will always find me back home. Hey, 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 nowhere else I wanna be than in your heart. Hey, nowhere else I'd rather be than in your heart. Okay, here we go. There's nowhere else, there's nowhere else I
Boogie. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you. God bless you. Michael Miller, please, the vocal.
I was going to do another one anyway. I'm not going to do Pritzel's song. No, forget it. No way. I'm mad at him because he won't put our record out. I did a whole album with him, and he's pulling a Phil Spector. You know, he's got it in jail. I ain't had this much fun since the hogs ate my little brother. It's a terrible sight, terrible. Anyway, thank you for coming out, you guys. This feels like part of the very hardcore of what we do, and you know, I mean, making my living at doing music at this point is a miracle. So you guys are all a big part of allowing me to continue to do it. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to dedicate this one to Gene once again because this was brought to us by him. This is a wonderful Canadian songwriter, one of my very favorite songwriters of all time, Leonard Cohen. Green Room Serenade.
If it be your will that I speak no more, let my voice be still as it was before. I will speak no more. I will abide until I am spoken for, if it be your will. If it be your will that a voice be true from this broken hill, I will sing to you. From this broken hill, all your praises they will ring. If it be your will to let me sing. All your children here in our rags of light, in our rags of light, all dressed to kill, this night, if it be your will, if it be your will.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Well, I'm going home.
Looking at the devil, grinning at his gun. Help me. Fingers start shaking. I begin to run. Bullets start chasing. I begin to stop. We begin to wrestle. I was on the top. I won't thank you for letting me be myself again. Thank you for letting me be myself again. Stiff all in the collar, fluffy in the face. Chit chat, chatter, trying. Stuffy in the place. Thank you for the party, but I could never stay. Thank you. Many things on my mind. Words in the way. That's right. I want to thank you for letting me be myself again. Ooh, I thank you for letting me be myself again. Dance to the music, all night long. Everyday people sing a simple song. Mom is so happy. Mama starts to cry. Papa's still singing. We can make it if we try. I want you, thank you for letting me be myself again. Different stroke, different folks, and thank you for letting me be myself again. Take it, bro. Blaming awesome people. Feel into you. Many men are missing, but you ain't what